hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
Hello everybody and welcome to an enormous patch for Marvel Heroes 2015. This particular one is 1.79 and has 3 really major updates or upgrades or whatever you want to call it to the game. So we're going to go with them sort of one at a time here. First and foremost is the event. For those of you who live outside of the US, this week is Thanksgiving week here. The actual day is on Thursday, but the patch is for the entire thing. This event will last from now up until Saturday, and it's actually a combination of several events that we've had in the past. We've got Cosmic Chaos, we've got Operation Omega, we've got Armor Incursion, we've got Play with the Devs, which the schedule is currently pending as I'm recording this right now, and we also have the big login gifts that we're going to be getting every single day. Plus, we've also got Limbo active, as we should, because the second thing is we've got a new hero. We've got Magik now in the game as a playable hero, which is very, very exciting. I'm going to head to the testing room so I can show you a little bit of what she does and how she works and things like that. In addition to her, though, we actually have the Wave 4 pack available, which are the last 3 heroes for the year. In this case, Magik, Iron Fist, and Black Cat. Black Panther also got a new costume, which is always exciting. It's always nice to get new costumes. And the other big major thing is the upgrade to the defense system. I'm going to go over that in a little bit more detail after I show you Magik here. So I did have a live stream or several live streams actually, where I went over Magik's abilities, her powers, all that kind of stuff, and just generally how she works. Suffice it to say, she is absolutely amazing. The devs did a wonderful job with her. She is incredibly fun to play. Her powers are very well synergized. She's got some amazing capabilities and is just generally a very fun character to play. More often than not, you're probably going to be either focusing on Soul Sword, the Limbo, or a combination of both with a little bit of the Magik as well. So the Limbo one, that is her summon tree, and her summons use command points. So whenever you summon a specific demon of some sort, then it uses a command point. I've got one summoned right now, and I can actually summon several more. And you can see every time I do so, a single command point is spent. And now I've got a whole bunch of these little dudes following me around. Right? So that's that. The Soul Sword, that's her melee attacks of all different sorts. Lots of AoE, tons of damage, and some wonderful VFX as well. Her Magik is very interesting. We've got the toggle and the Eldritch Armor, and we've got just some general, somewhat larger scale attacks, some AoE. Of course, her signature is in here as well. And then her Vampiric Incantation, which is a very interesting power in that it's a specialization that is really only affecting itself, its own specific power. So it's pretty cool, and this is really a primary way for her to get regeneration, and it also makes enemies vulnerable as well, which is obviously tremendously helpful. So lots of great stuff here. She's an incredible hero. Highly recommend you, at the very least, check out my video. You can see it linked below. But other than that, one thing that's really great about her as well is her synergies. She actually has some very, very impressive synergies. We've got the health on any hit, which is obviously wonderful to have, and we've got summoned ally damage, which is so very rare. It is wonderful to have that as a synergy at long last. Speaking of summoned ally damage, several things were changed with some unique items, including the Soul Sword, which is now a summoner specific item. Before it wasn't, it was just sort of a regular item. So that's that. We've got the big event with the combination of all different things. We've got Magik being released. And last but not least is the defense upgrade. So previously, instead of having something here that says damage reduction, we had the defense rating. And the defense rating was just some number of thousands that we got that was arbitrarily telling us that we had some reduction in damage. So effectively, what happened with this was all the enemy damage was decreased, and we also got a larger range of being able to reduce damage. The big thing for this is that our damage reduction is based off of three primary factors. We've got the regular defense rating, we've also got dodge and deflect ratings. And those are actually very, very integrated with the gear slots 1 through 5. Whereas previously they were somewhat throwaway stats, now this is a great thing that we can actually gear up for, and that's really what it's designed for. I will be doing a full-fledged video on this by itself later on, hopefully before the end of the weekend, but suffice it to say that the entire system has now changed, and instead of the arbitrary damage rating, we now have a straight percentage of damage reduction. In addition, every single hero gets at least 2 out of the 3. So I mentioned we've got the defense, the defense, the dodge, and the deflect. So in the case of Magik, on Eldritch Armor, in this case, we've got defense rating and deflect rating. Different heroes will have different things depending on the flavor for them. For example, Spider-Man is a very nimble hero, so he has dodge and deflect, I believe. Whereas somebody who's really big and hulking, like the Hulk, has the defense and deflect. Now, the way that works is the defense is the overall defense, exactly that, and it gives you damage reduction. The deflection is what dodge used to be, where it reduces the damage by 50% if you successfully deflect. It used to be projectile deflection, but now it's all damage deflection, not just projectiles, not just range damage. And dodge is now what it originally was back when I first started playing Marvel Heroes, which was you completely dodge the attack and you take absolutely no damage. Now, both the deflection and the dodge have their own specific ratings, and again, I will be doing a video specifically on this system later on, so don't worry and do keep an eye out for that. But suffice it to say that hopefully it'll be much more simpler now. Like I said, every hero has at least one passive power that relates to these in some way, shape, or form. Taskmaster is the only one who has all 3 because he's Taskmaster and that's just how he rolls. But other than that, it's a very much needed upgrade that should hopefully help some survivability with people, and in addition, it makes gearing up your hero much, much easier because you can actually gear specifically for defense. But with that, that's pretty much it for this particular patch. Again, it is absolutely enormous though. We've got some major stuff going on. Remember, the event does end on Saturday, so get your playtime in while you can. Have some fun with Magik because she is an absolutely incredible character with some amazing build possibilities. Remember that there's still going to be tuning with the defense system, so take that with a little bit of a grain of salt, at least for now, although I do look forward to seeing exactly how that's going to come about. And in addition, next week, the first week of December, I believe it technically is, we are hoping to have the Danger Room. So Danger Room hype. And remember, take a look at some of my live streams that I've done the last couple of times. I did them in Test Center, so you can see Magik's powers, and you can also see me in Test Center. Or not Test Center, but the Danger Room. So with that, thank you so very much for being here. That's it for me for this particular patch. Enjoy it, have a great time, and I will see you next week.
Lips as sweet as candy, its taste is on my mind.